In today's digital world, you've got to speak two languages at once, the language of machines and the language of people. So in this explainer, we're going to break down what makes a professional who has mastered both of them really tick. If you run a business or a website, you know this problem all too well. How do you please Google's bots and at the same time persuade actual human customers? It's a huge challenge. Today, we're going to dig into how one professional pulls it off, using his pretty unique career as our case study. All right, let's get into it. The first layer of this modern pro. Meet Daniel Beránek. Now, he identifies as both an SEO specialist and a copywriter, which is interesting, right? Because most companies hire two different people for those jobs. Let's explore what that combo really means. So on one side, you have SEO. That's for the machines. It's all about optimization, visibility, rankings. Basically, talking to algorithms. But then, on the other side, you've got copywriting. That's for us, for humans. It's all about persuasion, connection, and ultimately, sales. Now, these two skills are often kept totally separate. But Beranek's whole philosophy is built on smashing them together. And look, this isn't some new thing for him. He's been doing this professionally since 2006. I mean, just think about that for a second. That's over 18 years of constant change. He's seen the digital world evolve all the way from its early days to the AI boom that we're seeing right now. That kind of long-term experience is really rare. Okay, so what does writing for results actually look like when you blend these two things? Let's peel back that first layer. For him, it's not just about writing, it's about writing to get something done. And this quote right here, it just nails his entire philosophy. He says copywriting has a powerful trio of purposes: sales, prestige, and added value. So it's never just about making sentences sound good. Every single word has to have a job. Is it making a sale? Is it making the brand look more prestigious? Or is it giving the customer something genuinely useful that'll make them stick around? And how does he make sure the writing achieves those goals? He specializes in something called data-driven copywriting. Now, this isn't your typical creative writing. It's about building your text on a foundation of hard data, real sources, citations, rigorous analysis. It makes the final product way more persuasive and effective. But here's a really important distinction he makes, and it's super interesting. He's using data, but this is not the same as scientific work. A scientific paper is all about objectivity and precision, written for other specialists. His goal is different. He takes all that complex data and translates it into something clear and persuasive that his target audience can actually understand, and then do something about it. All right, let's go a layer deeper, because this is where things get really unique. We're about to see the mind behind the message. So what's the secret weapon that lets him bridge that gap between technical SEO and human persuasion? It's this: a master's degree in psychology. And this is not just some piece of paper he hangs on the wall. He actively uses it. It's like the engine driving everything he does. And we're not talking about pop psychology here. He's applying some pretty advanced concepts. Things like psychosemantics, which is all about the hidden meaning of words, or cognitive dissonance theory. He even uses narrative psychology, leveraging the power of stories, and memetics, which is basically the science of how ideas spread. He uses these tools to craft messages that resonate on a much, much deeper level. So what this all means is, he's not just writing words on a page. He's crafting messages that speak directly to the subconscious motivations of customers. He's going way beyond just listing features and benefits. Okay, so at this point you might be thinking, SEO, psychology, that's all very academic. And you're right. But this next layer, the foundational one, is what makes all of this stuff actually work in the real world. We're talking about being grounded in business reality. Long before his digital career, he got his hands dirty in the real world of business. He helped build and run 4 different retail shops from the ground up. He says he was the right hand of the owner, so he saw absolutely everything. And get this, he even ran his own stalls at Christmas markets 5 different times. Talk about a high-pressure sales environment. You have to build the stall, source all your products, and perfectly estimate demand for stuff that's super time-sensitive. Then you have to sell it all before it becomes completely worthless. I mean, that's a crash course in business right there. And this experience leads to one of his core beliefs: summed up perfectly in this quote. Without strategy, buying content is like throwing a stone in the dark you will miss. It just nails it, right? It doesn't matter how clever your words are or how perfect your SEO is. If it's not tied to a real business strategy, you're just throwing money away. So when you put all of these pieces together, the tech skill, the writing, the psychology, and the business smarts, what do you get? You get a powerful, future-proof formula for success in modern marketing.
And you can see this formula playing out in his client list. It's incredibly diverse. He's doing technical copywriting for a company like WT Tech, then turning around and doing data-driven writing and PR for a finance company. Then he's handling a full SEO and content strategy for a local service, and deep business analysis for an e-commerce brand. It shows you just how adaptable this combined skill set really is.
And this isn't a static approach either. He's constantly looking ahead. Right now, he's diving deep into artificial intelligence, publishing articles about it, playing with the new tools, and figuring out how to integrate it into his services for clients. He's actively future-proofing his methods. So let's just recap. What we've seen is the anatomy of a complete professional. You have the technician, the SEO specialist who speaks to the machines. You've got the artist, the persuasive copywriter who connects with humans. You've got the scientist, the psychologist who understands why people act the way they do. And finally, you have the entrepreneur, the seasoned businessman who makes sure it all leads to a real-world result.
And that really leaves us with a big question to think about. Is your marketing just speaking to algorithms, or is it truly connecting with people? Are you just making content that gets seen, or are you leveraging all these different layers to create something that gets felt and actually drives results?